Hey guys, welcome to Key Roots, the Key Roots of Sex Addiction. My name is Collin, and I remember my first counseling experience and how my first counselor really wanted me to connect how my addiction was directly related to my inner disturbance. And I just couldn't see how that was true because when I was acting out, I wasn't angry, I wasn't sad, I wasn't fearful. And, uh, and so it just didn't make sense to me in the beginning of my recovery. And so, I moved on from that particular counselor without ever being clear on that idea. Um, and then, years and years later, I was working with a sponsor support individual, and he had me sit down for 4 sessions of 30 minutes, and he had me write down a list of all the names of the individuals that I had affected in my sex addiction. And it was a pretty easy exercise in the beginning, but as time wore on, like I was really struggling to find names of individuals that I'd affected. So I was really just starting to write down names of individuals that I'd been associated with over the years. The second part of that exercise was I was to write how I had affected these people. And so again, in the beginning, it was really easy because it was obvious that I'd affected certain individuals. But as the list again wore on, it became more and more difficult to find any ways of how I had hurt these individuals. And so I just kind of like was thinking how our relationships were, and I started writing down a really common theme, which was I was scared of people. I was really putting on a facade, trying to impress people, or I would get really nervous and clam up around these individuals. And so whether I was putting on a facade or clamming up, the facade or the clamming up was like this wedge between me and all the individuals around me. And as I looked at the list, I found that fear of individuals was involved in every one of those individuals and over 200 names. And my eyes were really opened to the inner turmoil that I was experiencing throughout my life. And then I realized, how sex addiction was so, or how sex was so attractive to me. It felt really good amidst all of this turmoil. So my eyes were enlightened to my first counselor's message that my sex addiction most likely was directly tied to the inner turmoil in my life. The message here for you today is not necessarily that your inner turmoil is causing your sex addiction. I'm guessing that's true. But really the message is that you may not see what I call the key roots of your sex addiction right away. The significant foundational pieces of your sex addiction. And therefore, if you're blind to them, you can't work on them. And so sometimes, this is my second message, sometimes you need to be in recovery for years before your eyes are opened and you can start working on those issues. And that was my case. So you can be blind to your key roots, and it may take you lots of time to find them. So don't leave recovery. Just keep working at it.